Okay, I know I promised you a part 2 of this video here, and I have it scripted. It's coming next week, for real this time, I promise. But here's the thing. For the last 2 weeks or so, Gypsy Rose Blanchard's face has been popping up all over my YouTube feed, my social media, and believe it or not, I was familiar with this case. It's hard to forget once you learn about it. Something you probably don't know about me is that I'm actually quite interested in true crime. I used to be a bit more than I am now, but still. The only case that I'm actively really invested in is the Idaho 4 case. That one is a mess, and I truly hope that we get a glimpse of justice once it's all finished. But I digress. This woman who just got released from prison, who suffered terrible abuse at the hands of her mother, the people of the internet are essentially wanting her to be an influencer. Are people okay? Like, are we okay? Are we good? Because it doesn't seem like we are. This has got to be one of the most disturbing things I have seen in a while. But let's start at the beginning. Gypsy Rose Blanchard is a 32-year-old woman who was imprisoned for the past 8 years for orchestrating the murder of her mother, Didi. Gypsy Rose got released a few weeks ago, right after Christmas, and the internet is going nuts. She already has like 7 million followers on Instagram and 8 million on TikTok. The lovely people of the internet want her to do interviews and go on podcasts, and they're super invested in her life, and they want to know everything about her. They're begging her to go on social media and hashtag spill the tea. They're predicting brand deals in her future and influencer collabs and I don't know what.
This is a message for Gypsy Rose. Hi, hello, this is TikTok. I am begging you to start making videos on here, please. And I know you may think like, oh, I'm 30, I'm too old to be on TikTok. No, I'm 30, I'm on TikTok. See, everything's going fine for me. Please start making videos.
So Gypsy Rose Blanchard gets released from prison in 13 days on December 28th, and these are things that I need her to do once she gets out. I think she needs to go to the Taylor Swift concert, and she needs to be picked to get the 22 hat. Next, she needs to go on the Just Rich podcast because I just need to hear her converse with Trisha Paytas. After that, I need her to do an Architectural Digest house tour. Now, I don't know where she's going to live because she's been in prison for a while. However, that does not matter. I need her to be showing us around where she'll be living once she's released.
Make a TikTok account. Hello. She needs to see all the fan edits that people have been posting about her. Watch the It's Everyday Bro music video. She needs to understand the Jake Paul, Logan Paul beef, and Rice Gum beef. She needs to watch It's Every Night Sis too. Go on Tana's podcast. I just want to see those two interact. I feel like it would be incredible.
And if this is all you know about this case, you must be terribly confused. Well, there is a fair bit of nuance here. The reason why Gypsy Rose and her boyfriend at the time killed her mother, well, it was because Gypsy was terribly abused by her mother. This is probably the most famous Munchausen's by proxy case. Didi convinced her daughter, and the world as well, that Gypsy Rose has a whole plethora of chronic illnesses. We're talking leukemia, asthma, muscular dystrophy, for which she was allegedly confined to a wheelchair. But the thing is, the girl was fine. Gypsy Rose was fine. How the mother convinced doctors as well to perform several unnecessary procedures on Gypsy Rose, that's a whole other can of worms. But they definitely convinced the public and their community. They received a lot of aid and charity. People felt sorry for the girl, of course, who wouldn't? But at some point, Gypsy Rose was old enough to know the truth, that she was fine, and she knew that she could walk without a wheelchair. If anyone found out that it was all a lie and it was all a hoax, she and her mother would probably have to go to prison. The whole house of cards would come tumbling down. And the thing is, Gypsy did try to escape from her mother, but it was unfortunately unsuccessful. And at some point, Gypsy Rose met Nicholas Goodjohn, who became her boyfriend, and together they devised a plan to kill Didi. And they did. They went on a run, they were caught, and slowly everything about Gypsy Rose's condition came to light, and the public learned about it, that she was perfectly healthy. It was just her mother who convinced the world that her daughter was terribly sick. Both Gypsy Rose and Nicholas went to prison. He's still there, serving his time, and Gypsy Rose got released. To me, it's very obvious why Gypsy Rose Blanchard's story is so fascinating to the public. The media is portraying her as a survivor, a success story with a happy ending.
So this is your happily ever after, the gal who liked being a princess.
It is, yeah.
And the survivor of terrible abuse she no doubt is. But the sensationalization of her life is what leaves a bitter taste in one's mouth. Again, I understand the media's interest in her. It's a peculiar case. There's 50 shades of grey, it's not black and white, and it's great to see that Gypsy Rose seems to be on a path towards something better now. But shoving a mic and a camera in the face of a woman who went through trauma and abuse and who was behind bars for nearly a decade for orchestrating a murder, let's remember, does that seem like a good idea? It's incomprehensible to me that people want her to essentially become an influencer, a celebrity, I don't even know. Yas, sis, spill the tea. By the way, what's in your bag? Your skin is absolutely glowing. What's your secret? When are you dropping the merch? Can we get ready with me?
Get ready with me for my lifetime first date.
Yeah, I know, the palette.
There is something really unsettling about the public's reaction to her. And again, I understand people's interest. But have we completely forgotten what boundaries are? She's not our bestie who got back from a vacation and is ready to share the gossip. She's not a movie star. She's a real person who went through hell. And I'm just gonna say it. Yes, she's a victim. But many things can be true at once. We need to be careful who we idolize and praise, and to whom we give a platform and what kind of platform, who we catapult into the influencer realm. To me, this all comes across as this eerie deja vu. You know, you have this authority figure who is more powerful, pulling the strings and capitalizing off a vulnerable individual. And again, Gypsy Rose may be much more than a victim, but in this relationship, when it's her versus the news platforms fighting for her attention, fighting for interviews with her, to get a glimpse into her life, the power dynamic here is definitely concerning, especially since this is someone who's not been a part of society for the past decade, especially since this is someone who has previously captured the media's attention for pretending, especially since this is someone who, more than anything, probably just needs therapy and love and support of their family and friends. Not the exact opposite, being followed by paparazzi for doing the most mundane things like going shoe shopping.
What are you going shopping for, Gypsy? New shoes? What sort of shoes are you going to get?
You don't have to be a mental health expert. You just have to have common sense and use it to deduce that being thrust into the limelight after everything that she's been through will likely do more harm than good. I was kind of reluctant about making this video because just making a video about Gypsy Rose when my message is that we should just let her be. Of course, what if she doesn't want to be left alone? What if she loves and actively wants media attention? Should we question her ability to be able to make her own decisions? Considering how her life has been so far, I just really hope that her friends and family keep her best interest in mind and try to steer her in the right direction. I'm not saying that she shouldn't have media presence or do interviews. It's the obsessive mentality of some people that I find disturbing. Because you know who else would no doubt love media attention if she ever got out? Jodi Arias. And let me make it clear. These are two completely different cases. I'm not drawing parallels between Gypsy and Jodi. But having witnessed how quick people are to elevate someone to an influencer/celebrity status just because their story is engaging, it would not surprise me at all if a few years down the line, someone took a story like Jodi's and decided to sensationalize it and sell it to the public as a story of a woman misunderstood. A woman who made mistakes, yes, but she learned from her mistakes. And she has now become a better human being. She paid her debt to society, and now her story could be viewed as inspirational to us all. It sounds nuts to anyone familiar with Jodi's case. But give it 5 years and someone with the talent for twisting the facts. If our society continues down the path that it is on, who knows what will be considered normal soon. It's clear why Gypsy Rose's story is so compelling to the masses. It's a story of a victim who came out on the other side stronger, a survivor who seems to be thriving now. But suffocating her with media attention could very well make her a victim soon, of a different perpetrator, but no less dangerous. Let me know what you guys think about this case and the media's obsession with Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Take care, and I will see you soon.